Our next story is from the UK. The government made an announcement this week. It is planning to stop the sale of machetes and so-called zombie knives. Zombie knives are technically novelty items, but they can also be dangerous. But why is the UK taking the step to ban such items? Because knife attacks are on the rise in the country. Between March 2021 and March 2022, there were about 45,000 attacks using knives or sharp instruments. 45,000 attacks in a year. 870 people were murdered in the UK during that period. Knives were the murder weapon in about 40% of those killings. They're a serious problem in the UK, and the government is now trying to curb their use. Our next report brings you the details.
The UK government made an announcement this week. They're cracking down on large knives, like machetes and the so-called zombie knives. Zombie knives are large blades that are often used as props, usually as part of zombie slayer costumes, hence the name. But these props can be dangerous too. The government says they're being used by violent criminals in knife attacks. The move to ban machetes and zombie knives is part of a crackdown on knife crime. Knives have increasingly been used in violent crimes in the UK recently. They were used in 40% of UK murders that took place between March 2021 and March 2022. 282 people were killed by knives during this one-year period, the highest ever number of knife murders since records began in 1946. There were over 45,000 attacks using knives or sharp objects between March 2021 and 2022. That's an increase of 9% compared to the previous 1 year, and it's 34% higher than a decade ago. It goes against the long-term trend of a reduction in violent crime in the UK. And there's also another disturbing knife attack trend. A lot of these knife attacks are committed by minors. Minors were the culprits in about 18% of all UK knife attacks between March 2021 and March 2022. So how are children getting their hands on knives? There are of course knives lying about their homes, but when it comes to the bigger machetes or zombie knives, children can just buy them online. Because remember, zombie knives are technically costume props. The UK government knows that these knives are on e-commerce platforms. It's been talking about this problem since 2016. The government even brought a law that year to help police confiscate zombie knives. But the existing rules have some gaping loopholes. Under the 2016 law, police can confiscate zombie knives in private homes if they meet 3 criteria. They must have a cutting edge, a serrated edge, and images or words that suggest it is to be used for the purpose of violence. All 3 conditions must be met for the police to confiscate them. It's a pretty easy loophole to get around. So most often, the police can't do anything about these zombie knives until it's too late. Now the UK government seems to have realized its mistake, and it's trying to course correct. But it's a long road ahead. The UK Home Office will first consult the public over the proposed ban on machetes and zombie knives. It will be a 7-week-long consultation. The public will help define which machetes and large knives will be banned. Why the delay? The Home Office says it's to ensure proposals are balanced, which sounds fair. After all, you don't want the police locking people up for having sharp cutlery at home. But considering the alarming rise of knife attacks, it's high time for the UK government to sharpen its act.